What is going on, guys? My name is Luke from Luke Life Charms, and we're here to talk today about this motorcycle right here. The Honda, it's the XL190. I believe that's the name, or Xr190l. You can see it right here. I want to do a review. I couldn't find reviews of this in English. So I want to give you a little bit of a review on here. This is the bike that I've been using for most of the time that I've been living here, actually in Mexico at the moment. You can see I have about 7,378 kilometers on here, all ridden by me. And I want to talk about this. First question to answer for this bike is, who is this bike for? Who is this bike for? This bike, I say, is for anyone who loves to go off the road, off the trail, off the beaten path. Like if you love to go in areas like this, or have to ride through something like this, or mud, or like I do, I go up into those mountains right here. This is a bike for you. If you want something that's a little bit lighter, something you can move around a lot, that can get through the whole day and carry a lot of power and have a lot of torque, this is the bike for you. And more importantly, this is definitely for someone who's a little bit taller, because this seat sits up a little bit high. So for me, I'm 6'8". And I sit on this perfectly. But I know for smaller people, it's been a bit of a challenge, but I do see a lot of people here in Mexico are shorter. They've been able to use it as well. And it's for someone who loves to clear high ground clearance. This is what I really love about it. I've been able to go in places where cars couldn't go. I've been helping out with the hurricanes that happen here in Mexico. I was able to go and run food up and carry a bunch of stuff to be able to do that cars couldn't make it to. So that's why I say it's for it. If you love exploring and you love to go off-road in the city and get off the beaten trail, this is definitely the bike for you. The pros of this bike, like I say, probably one thing that I love the most about this bike is versatility. Meaning I'm able to go on these dirt roads pretty quickly. I can go down here very easily. I could ride across this field right here very easily. Wouldn't have to worry about getting all the dirt and all that stuff because it's high here. It's probably one of the pros. Second is, if you're in the city, gas. I get amazing gas. I put $5 in here and that'll last me an entire week. If I'm just in the city, it'll last me a week easily. So that's one thing that I really love about it. I love the power that it has. This thing, I'm 6'8", about 125 pounds, about 260, 270 pounds, and I'm able to carry my little wife on the back, as well as a travel bag on the back of it as well. And we've taken highways, we've taken mountains, we've been by beaches, we've done kind of everything. And I really love that. That's one of the definite pros, and it can make it through anything. Like I say, I've been able to make it through so much bad weather, and this thing is held up, and it's been able to pull me through. It has enough torque to get you out of any mud. And one of the best things that I think is probably even better is with this bike is it's so light. So meaning when I'm on this bike, I can push this thing from side to side, like in between my legs, moving it like this. Or if it falls, it's easy to pick up. Some of the bigger bikes I have, for example, I have a PC800. It's a much bigger motorcycle than this by Honda as well. I love it. But if that thing falls down, you're gonna need some help picking it up, or you're gonna have to have a really good technique to pick it up. And this, no problem picking it up, as long as the side, even with the side rails. I've dropped this thing probably 2 or 3 times going through sand. I've dropped it getting off of it the wrong way when I was in a rush, fell, no problem. That's the pros. And I have to say the cons of this bike. I hate to say the cons because I really love this bike so much, but I say the cons. Maybe if you guys know about motorcycles more than me, then you'll see one of the cons right here. It doesn't have, I think it's called a radiator, the thing to cool it off. So meaning when you go on long trips and you're really pushing this thing, because I'm here in Mexico, but I go up towards closer to America. I go long trips, 7, 8, 12 hours. And I've been on a 7-hour trip. You have to stop to let this engine cool down. This thing gets really hot and you got to stop for a little bit. When some of them have the cooler, you don't need it. I don't know what it's called. I don't know the technical term. But that's the number one thing that's a con. Number 2 is I do notice I wish I had a little bit bigger of a gas tank. I know that would weigh things out a little bit more, but with the bigger gas tank, what's so great, or with a little gas tank, the cons is when I'm going on a highway and I'm going at a high speed, it burns through gas really quickly and I'm having to stop a lot more. Going through the city, not so much. And then I'd probably say the third con about this bike, if I had to say it, I hate saying cons of bikes, and it's probably the biggest con and probably one of the most dangerous things for me of this bike is because it's made for a farm. It's made for stuff like this. The problem with it is when you're on a highway. So this thing, even though it's powerful, anything under 100 anything under like 90 kilometers an hour, no problem. 100 kilometers an hour, no problem. But once you start crossing 105, 110, I really noticed that it just doesn't have the power there. Going downhill, I've got it to 120. And like I say, with my size and my weight, it does go slower. But I realize I don't have the kick on the highway. So if I'm going from 90 and I need to pass someone, no, it's not built for that. Passing trucks, anything like that is pretty dangerous, I found, actually, on this thing, because it doesn't have that acceleration to go. So like I say, I've topped it out around 115, going downhill, 120, 125 going downhill. But when I go uphill sometimes, I'm at 80. So hitting up a high hill like this, especially on the highways of here in Mexico, it becomes a little bit of a challenge. So that's it. That's the pros, the cons, and who I think this bike is for. I love it. I think it's the bike. If I had to wake up in the morning and I had to grab a bike, if I had this, I had a Hayabusa, I had a BMW GS 850. If I had to grab one bike, I don't know where we're going, not sure what's going on. Honestly, I might have to say I grab this, because it's the versatility of this thing is this power, makes it so powerful. I love my dream bike. It's the BMW 850, and I love that bike. But the thing about that is it is heavy. So sometimes going up little roads, getting to these little pueblos, these little homes, having something light like this, I can fly up the hills. If it goes down, I can pick it up easily. I can move around. It has the power. It has the torque, has enough gas that I can get up and go anywhere that I need to. And that's why I love this bike. And as you can see, I've ridden it a lot and it's done a lot. And I definitely recommend it for you all. Great bike. I love it, and we'll continue loving it, and we'll most likely keep it no matter what other bikes that I end up getting next. So hope this was a great review. Any reviews you have on it, or any thoughts you have, any questions, leave it in the comments below. I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can, and I'll see you guys in the next review. Take care.